It would appear that the people who will actually be in contention in 2027 would be William Samoei Ruto as the front runner, Raila Odinga, and Kalonzo Musyoka. So that is the kind of field that I see in 2027. My thinking is that Raila Odinga should not run in 2027 for various reasons. A lot of people talk about age. Maybe yes, I would say so. Age is there, but it's there, as I mean neither here nor there. But what mainly informs my thinking that Raila Odinga should not run is because it's like this game is sold, It's like Raila is working against a system. IEBC, government officials, the corruption networks, everything to do with the structure of elections in Kenya, including the police, I can tell you that for sure. Everything. And even the foreign countries, I hear people talking about the US, I hear people talking about other countries. The entire election infrastructure is biased against Raila Odinga. So anytime Raila Odinga vice, there will always be that usual problem. Kura Imeibiwa. In fact, in his home, they tell him, wewe mbona uibi kura? Indaki kwale kura. Ibiro isiko iwak kura imeibiwa. Daki kwale, why don't you steal? So that entire thing is actually, historically, I would say, geared against Raila Odinga. And Raila Odinga has not done anything towards resolving that thing of elections for president in Kenya. So for as long as this thing remains the same, I know there are bomber talks that are going on. I still think that Raila will not win outright, even if he wins. Like in 2007, I can tell you 100%, Raila won with over 2 million votes. That I can tell you for sure. But then that system, to me, is one of the things that, as long as this thing appears like that, Raila Odinga should not even think of running in 2027. The second thing that I would like to talk about is Raila Odinga himself. He doesn't invest in running. I know he would want people to support the party, people to do things for the party, fund his campaign, but this is Kenya. Like last year's election, you cannot be a serious candidate and don't have agents that you trust, not your friends, not your relatives, agents that you trust in the main areas where you would imagine the kind of lying and cheating that would go on. As in, Mount Kenya area, Raila needed to have strong agents in Mount Kenya, not his relatives. Strong agents, people who resist corruption in Mount Kenya and Rift Valley. Raila has not shown any seriousness in terms of actually investing in his campaign with his own money. The other factor, I would say, is fatigue. You see, every time you push somebody towards the presidency and, he keeps failing, he doesn't come up with results, voters tend to basically, be tired. The majority of his voters will be at home for as long as Raila is running. He will not be able to turn out these voters. He will not be able to bring them out to vote for him. He will not have that vigor, and they will not have that urge to actually get out and vote for Raila, because they know the story remains the same, only the storytellers change, and that Kura Imeibiwa. The other factor about these campaigns of 2027 is that Raila does not have one thing that he's running for. He doesn't have a proper agenda. You see, a proper agenda, as in the sense that, Kibaki ran with infrastructure. One thing, and he got it. Just one. He should run with one strong agenda. You see, other things will follow, because if you want to build the economy, you have to focus on one thing that you can call your legacy. You see, so Raila Odinga, to me, is just yet another Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, maybe another Ruto. And in having talked about Ruto, I would say even his team would be very, very disorganized. And that I can tell you for sure. Because Raila depends on people who basically kind of adore him. You know, he's like Ruto in a way, doesn't want to be advised. Like, I'm sure if he sees this clip, he will be like, throw it out and, You see, another reason why I think Raila Odinga should not run this time around is he's kept friends and he's kept his friends in the wings and they are also ready. Like Kalonzo Musyoka. He should actually change strategy and support Kalonzo Musyoka and maybe let somebody else deputize Kalonzo Musyoka. If not him, well, it would be wrong anyway. I think it would be wrong for him to deputize Kalonzo Musyoka. I would think that he is even better off just having a prime minister post or maybe being somewhere in government, but not being the president or the deputy president for that matter. He's senior. He's more than that, especially when somebody lower than him, like Kalonzo Musyoka, becomes the president, or right now William Samoei Ruto. It would not be right to put Kalonzo Musyoka and then the deputy Raila Odinga. So Raila Odinga over the years has had a lot of support, and it's a high time too, arudishe mkono. My last reason for asking Raila Odinga, in fact, to stop running for president, he has actually taken over. He's killed all the aspiring Luo politicians over the duration of the period where he's been president. Raila Odinga has done a lot. I've worked with him in his campaigns. I've worked with him in his campaigns. And really, when I know and I feel what Raila Odinga has gone through as a person, it makes me sick. But Raila Odinga too is not able basically to let other people in Luoland come up. And that has been his major undoing. You see? So that has affected the economy of Nyanza, Luo Nyanza, starting from Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay. And that has affected leaders who actually would have ordinarily been the successors in Luoland of Raila Odinga. So that is a weakness that Raila Odinga has. You see, like I would give you an example. In this Ruto era, I would have imagined that Raila would have called all those Luo leaders, both in the CSs, Wakina Walo, Wakina the former police commissioner, all these people from Luoland, and they developed Luoland. But Raila has a way of actually brushing aside people who don't kind of agree with him, especially in Luoland, and he has no tolerance for them. And that is another factor that Raila Odinga, that I think if Raila Odinga or anybody would advise Raila Odinga, they would tell him, just support somebody. And of course, when I say he supports somebody for president, who would that be? Who would that be? In my opinion, the person Raila Odinga should support would be Kalonzo Musyoka. The other reason why Raila Odinga should not vie is because Luoland has been left behind economically for a very long time. You don't have to be the president to get the benefits of being in government. You can see Central, what they are doing currently. You can see Western. You can see Kisii. You can see other places where other leaders have been there. But they've been around that and they've been supportive. So Raila Odinga needs to let Nyanza develop. And by the way, just to inform you, the next leader in Nyanza after Raila Odinga will be somebody who is not a political leader again like Raila Odinga. He will be a leader who basically will be a leader who is more interested in development of Nyanza than the politics of Nyanza. That would be the next leader. And watch this space. Not these people who are coming and yapping, Somebody who will be serious with matters of development in Nyanza will be actually the next Luo kingpin, so to speak. There might be many, but one will come out, ahead of the pack. Well, but those are my views. What's your view? Do you think Raila Odinga should vie? Of course he has a right to vie, but I wouldn't vote for him this time. But he has a right to vie. Should Raila Amolo Odinga support Kalonzo Musyoka? What is your view? Thank you very much for tuning in. Welcome to Talk to Africa. My name is Joe.